Welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into this because we are looking at something incredibly fascinating today. We're going to deconstruct a highly specific AI video prompt. But look, this isn't just any generic prompt. It is meticulously designed to make mathematics, specifically the traditionally dry topic of division, genuinely fun, and more importantly, viral. And since I know you value your time just as much as I do, we're going to keep this analysis punchy, highly structured, and right on time. We are literally going to break down exactly how you engineer engagement from absolute scratch using nothing but text directives.
So the brilliance here actually starts with the psychology of the hook text. Before a single animation frame even registers in the viewer's brain, this text hits them. Why? Well, because it instantly taps into a universally relatable feeling of absolute panic. I mean, we've all been there, right? That completely false confidence right before disaster strikes? By leading with this exact sentiment, the creator is bypassing the logical part of the brain that says, oh, hey, this is a math lesson, and directly targeting the emotional part of the brain that says, oh, no, I know exactly how this feels. I need to see what happens next. It's honestly a brilliant piece of social engineering disguised as a really simple joke. And practically speaking, starting with that strong emotional resonance means a viewer is dramatically less likely to swipe away in those crucial first 3 seconds. You're hooking them with empathy long before you teach them with math.
All right, number 1. The viral math concept, setting the scene.
To make division work on a platform built for pure entertainment, you absolutely have to set the perfect scene. Notice how specific the environmental constraints are here to ground the animation. It doesn't just ask the AI for a generic classroom, it explicitly demands a modern Indian school. And the subject isn't just some random student, but a funny teenage student. This level of specificity is an absolute game changer in AI generation. By defining the cultural and architectural backdrop so rigidly, the prompt ensures the AI generates a cohesive, recognizable world rather than, a surreal mishmash of global classroom tropes. It gives the viewer an immediate sense of place. It makes the impending comedic disaster feel so much more grounded and real. When an AI knows exactly where it is, the resulting lighting, the background props, and even the atmospheric details just click together instantly.
And the prompt doesn't leave the character design to chance either. It uses highly specific behavioral instructions, expressive, energetic, slightly mischievous. These aren't just descriptions, guys. They actually dictate how the AI animates the character. Think about it. A character who is slightly mischievous is just inherently more dynamic and engaging for a teenage audience than a perfectly well-behaved one. It implies micro-expressions, a certain kind of slouched posture, maybe a slight smirk. Add in the universally recognizable visual cues of a school uniform and a backpack, and within literal milliseconds, the viewer knows exactly who this kid is. They are completely primed for the story. This is character building at the speed of an algorithm. It creates instant familiarity so the audience can jump straight into the joke without missing a beat.
Which brings us to part 2, directing the animation, visual energy.
A truly successful AI prompt doesn't just write a script, it acts like a virtual film director. The crucial point here is how this prompt dictates the kinetic energy of the piece. Exaggerated facial expressions, dramatic zoom-ins, quick camera movements, fast cuts. If you've spent even 5 minutes on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, you recognize this visual language immediately. It is literally the language of retention. The prompt is basically telling the AI, do not let the viewer look away for a single second. Every quick cut and dramatic zoom forces the viewer's brain to just constantly re-engage with the content. When the visual plane is shifting that much, our brains naturally stay on high alert, which prevents that dreaded upward swipe to the next video. You are artificially simulating high stakes just by moving the virtual camera around.
But it's not just about chaotic energy, it's about a highly curated aesthetic. The prompt specifically asks for a contrast. It wants cinematic lighting, paired with playful sound effects. So it wants the high-quality volumetric sheen of a blockbuster Pixar film, but the auditory cues of a goofy Saturday morning cartoon. And right in the middle of this energetic pacing, it explicitly commands, keep it cute and family-friendly. Now, it also asks for classmates reacting dramatically in the background. And actually, this is a brilliant technical hack. By including background reactions, it forces the AI to render a full 3D space with real depth, rather than just generating a flat subject against a blurred-out wall. It builds a rich, hilarious, and completely safe visual world that appeals to kids, teens, and, most importantly, the algorithms that promote safe content.
So, moving on to number 3. Optimizing for the algorithm. Because honestly, the creative side is only half the battle here. This prompt explicitly designs the content for social media virality. The algorithmic constraints are where the real magic happens. By specifying vertical 9:16 format and optimized for YouTube Shorts, the creator isn't just crossing their fingers and hoping it works on mobile, they are demanding the exact mathematical dimensions required for the feed. But the absolute genius is that final directive: no copyrighted characters or logos. Now, why does this matter so much? Because if you want an educational explainer to go viral and actually be monetizable, a stray Disney logo or a trademark superhero symbol hiding on a background poster will get your video instantly demonetized or shadow banned by automated moderation tools. The AI doesn't know copyright law, so you have to act as its legal guardrail. This prompt is engineered not just for a high view count, but for viable, unrestricted, and highly profitable distribution.
Finally, let's look at number 4, the relatable punchline.
All of this setup, all of this crazy algorithmic optimization, it all boils down to one highly anticipated interaction. Let's see how this builds to the final payoff. We get this incredibly relatable discussion between the teacher and the student. The teacher gives a super serious grounding directive to take out their books because they are going to learn how to calculate a math discount. It is a harsh reality check. The tension peaks right here. The teacher is focused on division and figuring out a store discount. And the student just responds with this desperate, crushing realization: "Ma'am, I thought this was a free period." It engineers a flawless, comedic punchline. It perfectly juxtaposes the rigid authority of the teacher, who's just trying to teach something practical like finding a discount on a price tag, with the absolute horror of a student who genuinely thought they were getting a break. It wraps up the frantic energy of the scene with a joke that literally every single person who has ever attended a school understands. It takes a prompt about a division math lesson and turns it into a perfectly packaged, highly shareable meme.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. We've just seen how a text prompt can dictate frantic comedy, strict algorithmic formatting, and highly targeted psychological hooks, all just to teach a concept like division. So, I leave you with this question. Is this blend of hyper-relatable algorithmic engineering the ultimate future of educational content? Do we literally have to hack the brain's entertainment centers to teach the fundamentals? It's a really fascinating shift in how we share knowledge. Just think about that the next time you find yourself actually learning something from a 30-second cartoon. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the media you consume. See you next time.